Uncle, look. Your parents are on fire. My name is Fuzu. I am the Black Widow, a notorious troublemaker. When I was 3, after Annie cursed my mother, she walked out and got caught in a burst of sewage. When I was 5, I paved a new path for Aunt Wong and Uncle Zhao's romance. When I was 7, I found an honest man for Widow Li next door. When I was 10, I competed at hanging upside down with Old Man's son, who lured me in with candy. Because of my reputation, my parents held on stubbornly and dared not return home. Until the year 1 graduated college, Uncle called and said, "You have no sons. Your family line is ending. Marry off your daughter for a 500,000 yuan bride price. Take stock of your assets and property, and give it all to my sons. Do as I say. And someday, there will be room for your burial in the ancestral graveyard." The ancestral graveyard. Our family actually has one. You should have said so. I have never dug up an ancestral graveyard before. My dad was famous throughout the region for being honest. After Grandma and Grandpa died, the family divided its estate. Uncle said he was the eldest son and eldest grandson, so naturally he should inherit the ancestral home. My dad thought that made sense. So, at 18, he moved out. He built a shack at the edge of a field. 5 years later, that land was seized for road construction. He received 100,000 yuan in compensation. Uncle said, "Second brother, look at all these sons of mine. They are carrying on our family line. You ought to help out." My dad thought that was fair, too. So Uncle took 90,000 of the 100,000 yuan. 3 years later, my dad married my mom after a blind date. He asked Uncle to repay the money. Uncle glared. With a crooked sneer, he said, "What debt? That was an uncle's gift to his nephews. And now you want it back." My mom was known far and wide for being a pushover. She always said, forget it, forget it. Everyone has it hard. She lived by one rule. When they advance, I retreat. When they curse, I listen. When they hit, I run. When they chase, I flee. Put two pushovers together, and you get an extra-large punching bag. Faced with Uncle's family's exploitation, they endured it again and again. They kept swallowing it, until they could not take it anymore. They packed their bags and went to the city for work. They could not afford to cross our hometown relatives. But could they not at least hide from them? Maybe extremes really do breed their opposites. Those who gave birth to a little devil like me, every grievance they suffered out there, would be repaid 1,000,000-fold through me. When I was 3, the Annie next door cursed my mom, saying she was too spineless to utter a word. Then she went out to use the toilet and was hit by a burst of sewage. Annie's screams were choked off by the overwhelming torrent of filth. When I was 5, my dad walked past Aunt Wang's door. Because he never even glanced at her, Aunt Wang resented him for making her feel unattractive. She blocked our door and claimed my dad had a crush on her. That night, Uncle Zhao's bedding smelled unusually fragrant. That was when his tiger of a wife found a bra that had somehow appeared in his arms. Half an hour later, Uncle Zhao's wife's roar nearly blew Aunt Wang's roof off. Uncle Zhao's wife's vicious claws raked Aunt Wang's carefully maintained face to shreds. I heard they called an ambulance that day. Aunt Wang was covered in bloody scratches and carried out unconscious. When I was 10, an old man living alone at the alley entrance lured me inside with candy. He said he wanted to compete with me at hanging upside down. But the next morning, he woke up freezing. Crying and shouting, he said, "I will give you all my savings, and I will write you an IOU for another 100,000 yuan. Please, let me go." Well, I simply could not refuse. So I used the money to buy a new house. After that day, my bad reputation overshadowed my parents' meekness. The two of them finally enjoyed the luxury of an ordinary life. Until the day one graduated college. Uncle, who had never contacted us, called. "You have no sons. Your family line is ending. Let us discuss your family's inheritance. I found a family willing to take your daughter as a bride. She will bring in a 500,000 yuan bride price, enough to get my son a wife. Take stock of your assets and property, and give it all to my son as his nest egg. Do as I say, and someday, you will have a place in the ancestral graveyard." Oh, our family has an ancestral graveyard. You should have said so. I have never dug up one before. On our first day back home, we had just reached the house when they refused to let us inside. Uncle shoved 3 burlap sacks into our hands. It was the busy farming season. "Go pick the corn in the fields first." My parents exchanged a look, then timidly accepted the sacks. They followed behind Uncle and obediently went into the fields. At noon, in 97-degree heat, my parents entered the cornfield. and painstakingly picked corn. Uncle and Annie sat under a tree at the field's edge, supervising. Every so often, they shouted, "Useless trash. 20 years away from home, and you cannot even do farm work anymore. Watch your hands. Break anything, and I will beat you to death. Sister-in-law, did you not eat? Why are you so weak? At that pace, will you even finish before dark?" Neighbors occasionally passed by. In an instant, Uncle and Annie put on smiling faces. "Oh, my younger brother is just so earnest. He just got home and insisted on working. We could not stop him. Look how blazing the sun is. Second brother, you just should have some water before working." But as he said that, Uncle kicked out with his foot, sending the water bottle off the ridge and into the field. The bottle rolled into a dirt rut. The water spilled, and the bottle was caked in mud. Annie feigned a scolding. "Look how careless you are. It is fine. A little dirt. Never hurt anyone. There is still water left to drink. Do not waste it." As she spoke, she tried to shove the muddy bottle into my mother's mouth. I lunged forward, gripped her wrist, and twisted it hard. I snatched the mud-caked bottle from her hand. As luck would have it, the bottle's mouth faced downward, drenching Annie's face in muddy water. My smile did not reach my eyes. "Annie, that is enough." Annie's eyes bulged. "You have some nerve. Your mother does not dare say a word to me, and you dare mock me." Her eyes darted around, searching for a stick she could use to teach me a lesson. My mother shielded me behind her, pleading, "Sister-in-law, she is still a child. Please do not hold it against her. She is 20, and still a child." Annie practically jumped out of her skin. Unable to find a stick, she went looking for a rock instead. I casually picked up a brick and offered it to her. "Annie, use this. It is big and easy to swing." She instinctively reached for it. I gave a low chuckle, then pulled hard with both hands. That huge brick snapped in half instantly. "You take one half. I will take the other. Let us see who hits the ground first today." Annie's hand froze. She did not say another word. She slunk back to the field's edge. She lowered her voice. "That Fuzu girl is downright uncanny." "What do you mean?" Annie gestured. "A brick this big." She snapped it with her bare hands. "Could she be someone we should not mess with?" Uncle narrowed his eyes at me. Draped in a burlap sack, I swayed at Uncle and flashed Uncle a toothy grin. My mom gave me a smack, and I quickly ducked my head. Uncle sneered. It was probably a fluke. What good could those two weaklings possibly produce? "You should rein it in too. The prospective in-laws will be here tomorrow. If they take a liking to her, we will get 500,000 yuan. Annie nodded. I know. It was getting late. It was time for dinner. Annie called my mother home to cook. Naturally, Annie did the ordering, and my mother did the cooking. I happily trotted after them. "I will help out too." Annie looked a little nervous around me. She waved her hands repeatedly. "No need. Go help your father pick corn. As for cooking, your mother alone is enough." Smiling sweetly, I watched the two women head home. Only Uncle, supervising, and my father, working, remained at the field's edge, along with me, darting all over the field. Slowly, the warmth left my smile. Since we returned to our hometown, only 5 hours had passed. Uncle's family had insulted my parents 35 times, mocked them 70 times, and tried to attack them 6 times. I had never been back to our hometown before. I never knew why, but whenever our hometown came up, my parents always looked haunted. Now I understood. They had been beaten into fear. There was not a shred of warmth in this hometown. There was only endless exploitation and scheming. In that case, I had no reason to let them save face. As Annie's back vanished down the road, I turned and rolled up my sleeves. I hoisted a shovel and headed into the field. There were 2 small earthen graves. "Uncle, whose graves are these?" Uncle lifted his chin. He answered proudly, "Your grandparents, of course, HMPH. Oh, so they are the biased grandparents who urged Uncle to bleed my dad dry. HMPH. You two have been buried here for decades. How boring. Your granddaughter is home for the first time. So I will take you both on a little trip." The moment I finished speaking, my shovel flew. Before Uncle could react, I dug wildly a full meter deep. I was about to tear open the grave mounds. "Stop!" Uncle roared, rushing over to stop me. I ran off with the shovel. At the other grave, I started digging wildly again. Uncle slapped his thigh in panic and chased after me again. I was a sly little menace. After years of climbing walls and smashing outhouse pits, how could he possibly catch me? When he chased me, I ran. When he stopped to catch his breath, I dug. In less than 10 minutes, he had not even touched the edge of my clothes, but I had already leveled my grandparents' graves. Uncle's eyes turned red. Do you know these are our family's ancestral graves? They are the source of our family's fortune. You are cutting off our family's roots. HMPH, they are your family's fortune, not mine. I do not care. I tossed aside the shovel, then carried over a pile of cornstalks. After stacking them up, I called out, Uncle, do not panic. I know how to fix this. They say, a wisp of smoke from an ancestral grave brings great fortune. Just watch. With that, I pulled out a lighter and set the cornstalk pile ablaze. The dry cornstalks burst into roaring flames, instantly engulfing the two leveled grave mounds. Uncle, look. Your parents are on fire. Isn't this far more blazing than a wisp of smoke? Just wait for the good life to come. Uncle's eyes flew wide open. His mouth fell open, and he toppled stiffly backward. He had actually passed out from rage. How could a grown man be so useless? By sheer coincidence, he landed right on the brick I had snapped earlier. Crack. This time, he was truly unconscious. My father hurried over with his head lowered. Anxiously, he said, hurry and run. Say I did it. I brushed the dirt from my clothes, then put out the burning pile. Why would I run? The game has only just begun. I am not done playing yet. He is only the first. Annie is still at home, waiting for me to pay her a little visit. How could I leave? Oh, right? I heard she sold me off. Did she not? I need to see who is tired of living. Dad, do not worry. Come home with me. My father hesitated. Do not worry about Uncle. He will not die. It is only 36 degrees Celsius. He merely fainted from the blazing sun, rage, and hitting his head. It is no big deal. We strolled back to Uncle's house. My mother was bustling in the kitchen, stir-frying and cooking. Annie sat in the living room under the air conditioner, cracking sunflower seeds. Every so often, she called out to my mother, Luyan, wash the clothes when you get a chance. Remember to wash them by hand. It is no trouble at all. My mother said nothing, but she had already started soaking the dirty clothes in a basin. Annie was pleased. You know your place. But your daughter is completely out of line. She has gone wild out there. She even dared to lay hands on me. But you need not worry. The family I found for her is a tough one. They will teach her to behave. While Annie was still lecturing my mother, my eldest cousin emerged from the bedroom where she had been resting. Her hair was a tangled mess, and she wore pajamas. With an impatient look, she called, Mom, why is dinner not ready yet? Annie tossed aside her sunflower seeds and turned to roar at the kitchen. Luyan, move faster. Did you not hear that my daughter is hungry? Keep dragging your feet and see if I do not teach you a lesson. Then she turned back with a bright smile, comforting my eldest cousin. Go get some more sleep. I will call you when dinner is ready. My eldest cousin did not move. Mom, I just heard you found a match for Fuzu. I am still single. Why have you not introduced anyone to me? Annie lowered her voice. Do you think that is some kind of blessing? That entire family is a pack of abusers. I am only selling her off to get money for your brother. Leave early tomorrow. Do not let that man see you. If that family takes a liking to you and latches onto you, you will suffer. My eldest cousin was satisfied. Swaying her hips, she went upstairs. Annie turned around. When she saw the two of us entering the courtyard, the smile on her face vanished. Why are you back? Where is your uncle? I scratched my head and grinned foolishly. He is sleeping by the field. He looked like he was sleeping so soundly. I could not bear to wake him. Annie was not having it. She shot me a vicious glare. It is good you are back. Your mother is to slow cooking alone. Go help her. Sure. I hurried toward the kitchen, but my father grabbed me. This man who had been meek his whole life showed defiance for the first time. Xiaoshu, go play. I will cook, Dad said. I blinked. You are not afraid Annie will scold you? My father muttered. Let her scold me. I will pretend I cannot hear her. Why does his daughter get to sleep until late morning, while my daughter has to be their maid? Your mother and I can handle things here. Do not lift a finger. My nose stung. Everyone called him a coward. Yet this so-called coward, even though he was afraid, still made this small stand for his daughter. They could bully him, but they could not bully his daughter. After only 2 minutes of this back and forth, Annie shrieked again. Are you all deaf? Why are you not working? You are asking for it. My fists clenched. I pushed my father aside. Stand back. So, you do not get hurt. My father tensed up. What are you going to do? What else Work, of course. I went into the kitchen. The sink held Annie's family's dirty clothes, soaking in water. I rolled up my sleeves and picked up a dress. Such terrible quality. It tore itself apart. Then I picked up a pair of pants. With a flick of my hand, two huge holes appeared in the seat. My mother watched in alarm. If you keep doing this, your uncle will explode with rage. Do not worry. He will not. Uncle is still passed out by the field. In less than 5 minutes, a basin of dirty clothes became a basin of shredded rags. After my careful handiwork, the ruined clothes looked perfectly intact on the clothesline. Annie was pleased. Girls should be more hard-working. Without another word, I carried the wash basin inside. Annie, have any more clothes to wash? Without waiting for her answer, I rushed into their bedroom. I opened the wardrobe and yanked things out wildly. Whether it was clean or dirty, underwear or outerwear, I dragged it all out in one heap. Then I opened the overhead storage cabinet. Winter down jackets and heavy coats, light and thick spring and fall jackets, even thick winter quilts, I hauled them all out. After emptying one room, I went upstairs. I kicked open my eldest cousin's bedroom door. My cousin screamed, "Fuzu, have you lost your mind? Don't ask." I'm in one of my hard-working moods, hugging a huge pile of clothes. I was like a little motor running at full power. I ran into the courtyard and shoved everything into the large wash basin. My eldest cousin chased after me, stomping in panic. Mom, Fuzu took all my clothes. In this entire house, all I have left is the pajamas on my back. Annie stopped her. She looked at me as though I were an idiot. Free labor. Just let her do it. It is summer anyway. They will dry in no time. It will not stop you from changing. Go on. Go back inside and rest. Let that fool wash to her heart's content. The two of them linked arms and went back inside. I was perfectly satisfied. I got to washing with all my might. Washing clothes was slow, but tearing them was quick. In less than an hour, I had ripped the clothes from both rooms into tattered rags. They filled the entire courtyard on the clotheslines. A light breeze swept through, sending strips of torn cloth fluttering all over the yard. I looked over the fruits of my labor and nodded in satisfaction. Then I took the Annie's underwear I had secretly set aside and tossed it over the wall into the neighbor's bedroom. Once I had finished the laundry, I slipped back into the kitchen. Mom, is the food ready? My mother nodded. The chicken and mushroom stew had just come off the stove, breathing in its rich aroma. I filled the basin and shoved it into my father's hands. You to go outside and eat. I hurried them both out the door. Then I turned around and set the kitchen on fire. You made my father come back here to work like a mule, so I will dig up your ancestors' graves. You made my mother travel all this way to cook, so I will burn your house down. The summer air was hot and dry. A spark from the stove caught the firewood at once. By the time black smoke billowed and flames leaped everywhere, half the village had been alerted. When a crowd of neighbors carrying buckets and basins rushed in to fight the fire, Annie was still leisurely cracking sunflower seeds, spitting out the shells. She called out, "Luyun, is the food ready?" The village chief cursed at her. "Eat, eat, eat. All you think about is eating. The house is on fire. Can you not see it?" Annie shuddered all over. She snapped fully awake when she saw the kitchen that had been perfectly fine, now burned into ruins. She practically jumped into the air. "Fuyuan," Annie roared. "I told you to cook one meal. How dare you set the place on fire?" By then, the three of us had already eaten and drunk our fill. We tossed aside our bowls, wiped our mouths, and pushed through from behind the crowd. I put on a pitiful expression. "I made the food. Annie, did you not go to the kitchen to eat?" "Oh, it is all my fault. Your family has so many clothes. My parents went to help me hang them up." "Annie, you have quite a temper. Why would you set your house on fire just to liven up a meal?" After hearing that, the village chief narrowed his wrinkled eyes. Everyone was from the same village. Who did not know every family's dirty little secrets? More than 20 years ago, everyone knew the Fu family favored the eldest son. The eldest was the family's treasure, while the second was treated like dirt. Eldest Fu drove his younger brother until he had no way to live, forcing him to leave his hometown. Who would have thought that after more than 20 years, on second Fu's very first day back home, he would be ordered to wash clothes and cook, treated like a maid? Oh, right? This morning, people said second Fu's family had not even entered the house before they were dragged out to the fields to work. What a pack of brainless idiots. What a lazy bunch. Once the open flames were extinguished, all that remained was a terrible mess. The village chief waved his hand. telling everyone who had come to help to leave. Annie hurried to call the police. Second Fu's family definitely started this fire on purpose. You have to testify for me. The village chief did not even raise his eyelids. What, you have security footage? Or did I see it with my own eyes? This is your home. Your kitchen. Second Fu's family arrived only today. Do you really think they would rest in your living room? Then burn down your kitchen? Eldest Fu's wife. Try using your brain before you do something. Annie was left speechless. The village chief could not be bothered to say more. He turned and left. Before leaving, his gaze swept over to me, Xiaozu. First time back in the village, and you are already stirring things up. So take it easy. Do not worry. I know exactly what I am doing. By mid-afternoon, Uncle finally came home after sleeping in the fields. Good grief. His face was peeling from the sun. He was blackened and red all over, with startlingly white eyeballs. He looked absurd, all sun-darkened skin and glaring white eyes. The moment he entered, before he could blow up at me, he was stunned by the wreckage of his own home. What happened? He stared blankly at the half-destroyed kitchen, blacker than his own face. He asked Annie in disbelief, "Have you lost your mind? Why would you burn down the kitchen?" Annie had been holding in her anger all day. She jumped 3 feet into the air. It was Second Fu's family. Not me. Not me. It was not me. I was just at home cracking sunflower seeds by the handful. When I came out, the kitchen was gone. Why is everyone blaming me? You've got some nerve blaming me. The house was on fire, and all you did was sleep. You think I wanted to sleep? I was so furious. I passed out. Can't you see my face is sunburned? In this scorching summer heat, who would want to sleep outside? Uncle shot murderous looks at the 3 of us. We were so innocent. My father looked at the sky. My mother looked at the ground. I picked at my fingers, but staying silent the whole time would have been rude. So I spoke up. Uncle, are you hungry? I can make you dinner. Cook another meal. You cooked 1 meal and burned down the kitchen. Another one, and there will be no house left. No need. Just wait for dinner. All right. I flashed a wide smile, grabbed our luggage, and settled into an empty room. My mother had never caused such a huge disaster in her life. She never expected it to feel so effortless. Yet now, she was terribly uneasy. They will not try to hurt us in secret, will they? I told her to put her mind at ease. Didn't they say they would sell me for 500,000? They have not gotten the money yet. They will not make a move too soon. My father became even more worried. Xiaozu, why not run away tonight? We cannot let them actually sell you. Dad, do you really think their little tricks can sell me off? My father thought about it. Then why are we still here? We should leave now. How could we do that? It is not the thief stealing from you, but a thief who keeps plotting against you. These thieves are being so blatant. If we do not make them give up, there will be countless more problems later. So what are you planning to do? Do they not want to trade a girl for a bride price? My older cousin is still unmarried. Such a wonderful opportunity. Should stay within their own family. The next day, perhaps afraid something would go wrong if they waited. Or perhaps Uncle's family had become wary of me. The groom's family came at dawn. A man and a woman arrived. A mother and son. The man was in his early 30s. He did not look very bright, but he was huge and burly, with muscles all over. His mother had sharp, triangular eyes. From the moment she entered the yard, her eyes kept darting around. Annie lowered her voice and said, "She's in the innermost bedroom on the first floor. I will lure her parents outside shortly. Then Chen Hai can go in and lock the door. Will that work? What if she calls the police?" Annie waved a hand. "What are you afraid of? This is my house. Who can prove anything? You do not need to actually do anything. Just make it look convincing. So she cannot explain herself. Then she will not be able to clear her name, and will have no choice but to agree to the marriage." After considering it for a moment, they nodded. "We will do as you say." Once they had settled it, Annie shouted for Lu Yun. "Second brother, come out and get to work." Our family had been awake for a while, just waiting for her to call us. My parents immediately answered and went out. Before leaving, my father gave me one instruction. Do not kill anyone. Other than that, do whatever you want. They were playing dirty. How could we possibly endure that? Even a clay figure has its limits. Since Big Brother's family had no bottom line, my father had no reason to show them mercy. At worst, we would destroy each other. The moment my parents left, I headed upstairs and knocked on my oldest cousin's bedroom door. She was still asleep. Half awake, she rubbed her eyes and opened the door. She did not even see who I was, and immediately called out, "Mom." What time is it? Why are you looking for me? I struck the back of her neck with the edge of my hand. She went limp at once. I carried her downstairs and tossed her into the bedroom. Then I covered her with the quilt. After that, I climbed out the back window and over the wall. The stage was set. Now I just had to sit back and watch. Chen-hai was a fool. He did whatever his mother told him. Obediently, he slipped into the bedroom and locked the door behind him. 10 minutes later, a girl's screams came from inside the room. Hearing the commotion, my parents rushed over from the yard. Why do I hear someone screaming? Oh no, Xiaozu has not gotten up yet. Did something happen to her? As she spoke, my mother tried to rush inside. My smug aunt grabbed her and stopped her. What is the rush? What could possibly happen at home? Maybe a mouse ran out and scared Fuzu. A thin sheen of sweat broke out on my mother's forehead. No, Xiaozu is brave. She would not be frightened like that so easily. Wasn't there a man here just now? Where did he go? Annie and Chen-hai's mother exchanged a look. Malicious smiles spread across their faces. From those sounds just now, Chen-hai had obviously succeeded. Ha! Let her stew for a few more minutes, and it will be a done deal. My mother stomped her foot in panic. Where is that man? Where is he? Where have you hidden him? The more she spoke, the more terrified she became. She tried to charge inside again. Say something, and he held her back with all her strength. As she pulled, she urged, do not panic. Chen-hai is an honest man. I carefully picked him as a match for Fuzu. Would I ever hurt my own niece? What is wrong with that young man talking to her in the room? Do not go in and ruin it. Bullshit. Whose daughter is still in bed, while a man is allowed into her bedroom? Keep holding me back, and I will fight you to the death. Annie curled her lip. She did not care in the least. She was such a pushover. What could she do, even if she fought desperately? As they struggled, more screams came from the bedroom. Between them came a tearful cry. Mom, save me. That cry rang out clearly. And Annie froze. Why did that sound like her own daughter? As she hesitated, a sharp slap sounded from the bedroom. Chen-hai roared furiously. Your mother told me to come in. If you do not behave, I will beat you to death. You idiot. The next second, a shrill female voice screamed. How many times do I have to tell you? You have the wrong girl. Annie's face changed dramatically. Just then, I walked in, munching on a bun. Seeing everyone struggling in front of the bedroom door, I asked, what is with all the excitement so early? Have you eaten? Annie's eyes nearly popped out of her head. Why are you here? I held up the bun in my hand. I was hungry, and there is no kitchen here. So, I went out to find something to eat. Annie slapped her thigh. You were outside? Then who is in that room? I gave my mother a meaningful look. She understood, and obediently stepped aside to watch from the corner. But Auntie went crazy. She rushed to the bedroom and pounded desperately on the door. Chen-hai, open the door. No, my mother said. I paid for her, so this wife belongs to me. My oldest cousin broke down. Get this lunatic away from me. No matter how they screamed and wailed, the bedroom door would not budge. It had been meant to trap me, so it had been specially reinforced. But now, they had given that cage to their own daughter. Unable to break down the door, Annie turned and flew into a rage at Chen-hai's mother. Make your son open the door, now. Chen-hai's mother was reluctant. We agreed a girl would be locked in that bedroom. My son would go in and make it convincing, and the marriage would be settled. Sure, there has been a little mix-up, but it makes no real difference. Tell me, is the person locked in that bedroom a girl or not? As long as she is female, it is fine. It does not matter who she is. But if you open that door, wouldn't all this planning have been for nothing? If you do not open that door, I will call the police. Go ahead. This is your house. You sent my son in there. You drew up the agreement, and you took the money. Even if the police come, my son would only be charged with paying for sex, but your daughter would be charged with prostitution. Annie was beside herself with rage. Yet Chen-hai's mother was not angry at all. She even had the nerve to comfort Annie instead. Things have come this far anyway, so we might as well make the best of it. Who she marries does not matter, does it? I will still pay the 500,000 we agreed on. At those words, Annie was about to lash out again, but Uncle became calm instead. He grabbed Annie. Uncle's eyes darted uncertainly, making Annie's heart go cold. Honey, what do you mean? Uncle hesitated for a moment, then said, it does not matter who she is. Scraping together money for our son is what matters. Annie staggered, and the hand reaching for the door fell still. Hearing the commotion inside, my oldest cousin broke down. She could not believe it. In only a few minutes, her own parents had sold her off. To a fool, no less. Dad, I am your biological daughter. Sigh. Things have already come to this. You need to think about your brother, too. Do not worry. No matter what, you will always be the daughter we love most. So much for the daughter they claim to love most. Their love existed only in words. I snapped a thick branch from the yard. I walked into the room, where everyone had fallen silent, and kicked the door. With a crack, half the wooden door splintered beneath my foot. The scene inside was exposed. My oldest cousin's face was streaked with tears. Her face was ashen with despair. Her pajamas had been ripped to rags. She cowered in the corner, desperately shielding herself. Chen-hai was groping her. But because my cousin fought him with everything she had, he had gone completely mad. Rather than trying to take advantage of her, he was abusing her. The exposed skin on my cousin's body was covered in bruises, blue and purple, leaving her in a wretched state. I ducked into the room. My oldest cousin opened her mouth, but she was too ashamed to ask me for help. She knew this trap had originally been meant for me, but I had seen through it in advance. Now she had become the victim instead, and she could not bring herself to face me. I weighed the stick in my hand. Let us put our grudge aside for now. Tell me, what should I do with this man? What do you want? My oldest cousin's lifeless eyes suddenly lit up. Fuzu, save me this once, and I will repay you. Deal. Go block the door. I gripped the stick and brought it down on Chen-hai's leg. A pig-like scream instantly pierced the sky. Chen-hai's mother panicked outside. Cursing loudly, she tried to barge inside. My oldest cousin moved fast. Driven by the towering hatred in her heart, she toppled a table and jammed it firmly against the doorway. For the moment, no one outside could get in, and no one inside could get out. I backed Chen-hai into a corner and beat him into submission. By the end, he was crying. My mom made me do it. If you want to hit someone, hit my mom. Do not hit me. Seeing there was hardly an unbruised spot left on him, I knocked him unconscious with one blow. Call the police. No, you cannot. Uncle roared from outside the door. My oldest cousin froze. To silent streams of tears ran down her face. Fine. We will not call the police. I considered it for a moment, then threw Chen-hai out like a dead pig. His mother caught her son, crying and screaming. But she did not dare cause another scene. She could only carry him home in disgrace. Once outside, Annie tearfully embraced my oldest cousin, calling her sweetheart over and over. My oldest cousin gave a mocking smile. I will not pursue this matter today. Consider it my repayment to you. With that, she went straight upstairs, locked herself in her room, and made no further sound. In the middle of the night, someone tapped on my window. I climbed out the window and saw my oldest cousin standing behind the house with a suitcase. I am leaving. Before I go, let me warn you. Do not eat or drink anything at home tomorrow. My parents have plenty of dirty tricks. They still haven't given up on that 500,000 yuan. Tomorrow, they plan to drug all three of you unconscious, package you up, and deliver you to Chen-hai for the money. They will stage a car accident for your parents. That way, they can trade you for 500,000 yuan. Calmly, she laid out their entire plan. I was not surprised in the slightest. You saw it coming? I spread my hands. What else would I expect? People who can sell their own daughter for money. Would they really show mercy and let us go? This trip back home had always been a journey into a place that devours people whole. They never intended to spare us, and I never intended to spare them. My oldest cousin sighed. As long as you know what you are dealing with. Anyway, good luck. Then she held out her hand. Lend me something to wear. Why? My oldest cousin gave me a dark look. Some kind soul washed all my clothes into rags. I gave an awkward laugh. I had forgotten about that. Early the next morning, my oldest cousin was already gone. Uncle's family was not worried about their daughter's disappearance at all. Instead, they ordered a whole table of food and warmly invited my family to dinner. Their strange behavior, as though they wanted everyone to know it was a poison banquet. The three of us exchanged a look, then dug right in. I had worked hard to earn a proper meal. So, why waste it? 10 minutes after the meal, we dutifully collapsed to the floor. Uncle's smile vanished. His true colors showed, and he was in a foul mood. Enough talking. Hurry and deliver her to the Chen family. Until I have the money in hand, I cannot rest easy. Bring that beat-up van over here. Take your younger brother and his wife up the mountain. Find a cliff and push the van over with them inside. We will tell everyone they went home. After 10 days or 2 weeks, even if they are found, there will not even be bones left. They stuffed me into a sack and carried me, swaying, through the Chen family's gate. Chen Hai looked reluctant. Can you not switch her for someone else? That woman hits really hard. Did we not knock her out for you? Break her hands, and she will not be able to hit you. Fine, the handoff is complete. Shh. What a pathetic family. They made me go through all that trouble. The front gate shut. Chen Hai turned and found a hammer. When he turned back, he met my clear, unblinking eyes. Smiling sweetly, I asked, who are you planning to hit with that hammer? Chen Hai flinched. Myself. The next second, the little hammer came down on his own body. The sound was crisp and satisfying. That was just to blow off a little steam. I hauled Chen Hai outside, rented a car, and followed my parents' location signal to a remote, desolate mountain. Chen Hai went from trembling in terror to howling like a ghost later on. Do not kill me. Do not kill me. I know I was wrong. Human trafficking is illegal. I will turn myself in when I get back. Please, miss, let me go. Shut up, or I will throw you over the edge. Looking at the steep cliff beside the road, Chen Hai shut his mouth. He curled himself into a ball, whimpering pitifully. Before long, we reached the summit. From afar, I spotted Uncle's beat-up van. At that moment, Uncle and Annie were pushing the van toward the edge of a cliff. In less than 10 meters, the van would plunge off the cliff and be smashed to pieces. Hearing the engine, Uncle turned and saw me. His face instantly changed. Weren't you unconscious? He knew, too, that he had gone too far. There was no point asking that now. Before I could reply, he hardened his heart. I was going to leave you a way out, but you insist on dying with your parents. Then you can all die together. He lunged at me, flailing wildly. Seeing this from inside the car, Chen Hai covered his face, unable to watch. My uncle had no idea how strong his niece was. He really did not have a damn clue. He had never even seen me fight. So, when I shattered his pelvis with one kick, his face was a mask of shock and agony. He lay on the ground, unable to get up. I planted my foot on his face. Uncle, did you expect that? Surprised, delighted. Who says doormats can only raise weaklings? Have you never heard the saying? Extremes always breed their opposite. You bullied my parents their whole lives. But with me, it swung the other way. I became a full-blown monster. When Annie saw this from a distance, she abandoned the van and ran. But she did not get far. My parents got out of the car and caught up with her. They grabbed her by the hair and dragged her back. When they dragged the two of them together, my mother's face was filled with fury. Bullying us was bad enough. We are family. How could you actually try to kill us? After a long silence, my father finally spoke. His disappointment ran bone deep. Big brother, I have never wronged you. Why would you do this to me? He had kept those words buried for decades. He had always believed that blood brothers remain connected, no matter what. Everyone has selfish thoughts, but he thought they were harmless. When it truly mattered, a brother would always be the one person you could count on. He never imagined that the one who would drive him from his hometown would be his big brother. I am the eldest son of this family. I alone am enough. Why should there be a second one like you? Mom was right. You exist only to bankroll me, support me. My father closed his eyes. He turned away, his body seeming to stoop even more. He had never longed for family affection, but this still broke his heart. I asked Chen Hai, can you drive? Chen Hai shook his head. No, you cannot drive. Perfect. I tied up Uncle and Annie and stuffed them into the van. Then I shoved Chen Hai into the driver's seat. This is the gas pedal. This is the brake. This is the steering wheel. Anyone with hands can drive from here to the foot of the mountain. Then our score is settled. Chen Hai's eyes lit up. You promise? Of course. Chen Hai got excited. He stomped on the gas, drawing furious curses from Uncle and Annie. Do not hit the gas on the way down. Slow down. If we go over the cliff, we will die. Police cars were already waiting at the foot of the mountain. They took everyone in the van into custody. Chen Hai gave a statement. So, did my oldest cousin and the three of us. Uncle and Annie's crimes were beyond dispute. We stayed in our hometown until the verdict. Both were sentenced to 10 years. The day the verdict came down, my older male cousin, whom I had never met, finally came home. The first thing he did was pack up Uncle and Annie's belongings and throw them out of the house. He told everyone those two were a disgrace and that he was cutting all ties with his parents. Then he called his sister. Mom and Dad are in prison, and you are still out there fooling around. Get back here and get married. Your bride price could help the family through this crisis. Keep dreaming. They brought it on themselves. My eldest cousin unleashed half an hour of vicious profanity on him. The next day, she left for Africa. Many years later, my children were already in elementary school. I heard that after Uncle and Annie got out of prison, my eldest male cousin threw them out of the house. They did not dare provoke their son, but they dared to target their daughter. They sued her, demanding that she support them. How can a daughter refuse to care whether her parents live or die? Of course, I have to get money from her. She is out there, making a fortune, while we are here living in poverty. There is no justice in that. My eldest cousin did not even appear in court. From the day the ruling was issued, every month, she used the minimum required amount to buy adult diapers, which she mailed back to the hometown. I have paid you your support money. If you cannot spend it, that is your problem. If you have no fixed address and never received them, how is that my problem? Tell me, did I send them or not?